They're not going to play much.
Foul is going to be called on Lacey. Points, 3 of 5 behind the arc, 6 assists. Our Geico go-to player of the game, saving people money on more than just car insurance. You can go to geico.com now. Call 1-800-947-AUTO for a free quote. Foul by Oliver, got Relaford with the body.
They'll be much better in February, but right now they struggle in the perimeter people. But they struggle against scoring. But in Alabama, I tell you somebody else that's not bad is Ole Miss.
Relaford with some fine defense down here in the corner creates the turnover on Dayton. So Alabama has it right in front of their bench. They're down 9, 3 possessions with 1:17 to play. Cooper, 3, rim out.
Ooh, big shot there. Big shot there.
Big shot and a big rebound by Kyrie Price. And a foul is going to be called.
Put him in there.
He's got 19. Pardon me. He's got 19. Now he has 20. One shy of his career high. Got ahead of myself. 11 points with 64 seconds to play. Relaford finally hits a 3.
They need to keep the ball in his hands as long as they possibly can.
Ball comes into Lacey. And now Relaford launches a 3. Rim out. And the jam and the foul. Point game. This is a 2-possession game with 45 seconds to play. Price running the baseline. No place to get it into. And so he calls a timeout.
Best free throw shooter.
This is as close as Bama has been since the 16-minute mark of the second half, and Randolph put Benson at the line.
The ball can bounce around, you can get it back.
6-point game again as Benson now at 21, matching his career high. Cooper, 3, air ball, but air bring the ball.
Yeah, I think that's best for Dayton.
Dillard running the floor.
That'd make him keep it.
Foul will be called on Randolph the season. Next one gives him a new career high.
To come into Alabama and win this game. I know you've talked about them beating a lot of SEC teams, but this is a big win for them.
Well, Coach, and not only that, but the manner in which they have done it. 79 points on an Alabama defense that was allowing less than 55 per game. Randolph. Rebound, Oliver, that's going to do it. The foul is going to be called on Alabama, but now with a 8-point lead in 16.
All right.
And Oliver. Final 12 seconds. Relaford. Randolph puts it in. Stolen by Relaford, but he had to foul.
Offensive scoring out there inside play.
And he came in shooting 70% on his threes the last 3 games. Just wasn't there tonight for him, and it wasn't there for Alabama. That'll count. All it does is change the on the season with Miami 8 versus power conference teams the last 6 seasons. That goes back to the previous coach, Brian Gregory, who's now the head coach at Georgia Tech. Alabama has started 0 for 4 from the floor and 0 for 2 behind the arc. And Dayton has yet to miss. They're 4 for 4 and 2 for 2 behind the arc. Relaford working against Dillard, tried to dump it off. Offensive foul called on Relaford.
You made some good comments at the starting of this game talking about Dayton's not scared of anybody. They play all SEC teams. A lot of SEC teams have done very well against all of them.
Rebound.
You people watching this basketball game tonight, if you want to take a look here and see if it's zone, and I think it is. 2-3 zone on out-of-bounds plays underneath.
Dayton's 6-game winning streak against the SEC consists of 3 victories against Ole Miss, 2 against Auburn, and 1 against Alabama, as Dillard, a long-range.
Pretty active, runs well. Of course, I always like runners, and these guys do a good job of that.
They feel like they have an advantage, though, at the 4 with Benson and Oliver, and the rebounding ability at those 2 positions.
I think you're right. 18 rebounds, as I talked about earlier. One rebounding at 10 a game, the other rebounding at 8.
7,000 notable alums, John Gruden.
Well, when I think of Dayton, I think of Don Donahoe. He's a great basketball coach. I got to talk to him the other day, and I think the world of him. I was assistant coach a long time when he was the head coach, but he's a heck of a basketball coach.
Don Donahoe was Anthony Grant's head coach.
Yeah.
He won 437 games over 25 seasons, and they were the 1967 NCAA finalists, losing to UCLA in the championship game.
Well, to me, he's Dayton basketball. Always has been, always will be.
Inside Lacey, and a 3-second violation is going to be.
He can score and get the basketball off the screens on the inside. He can score it. Musa Gay struggles trying to score. The other big guy's hurt now, so they're a little bit limited in what they have inside.
The big guy you're referring to is Carl Engstrom, who's out with a knee injury. Injured himself 3 minutes into the Cincinnati game. Benson with the follow.
Big Benson got that rebound and stuffed it right back in. And we talked about Alabama not rebounding offensively. They've got to do a better job of rebounding defensively and blocking out. But Dayton's got good quickness at the big spots.
10 straight points now for Dayton as they've opened up an 11-point lead. The only points for the Crimson Tide have come by Lacey at the free throw line here in the opening 4.5 minutes. Cooper with 4 on the shot clock, and that's the first basket from the field for Alabama. Sanford for 3. Answers.
V. Sanford. Dillard and Sanford both can shoot it from the field, and 80-something% free throw shooters from the line. So if they get fouled, they're in business.
Sanford averages right at 12 a game. Dayton 2-1 on the road this season, but this is their first true road game on an opponent's home floor. They were 2-1 at the Charleston Classic. Randolph averaging 6.5 points per game, had been 1 for 5 at the free throw line coming into this ball game, but hits his first 2 here to cut the Dayton lead to 9. Dillard bounces inside, had the ball stolen away by
that, but he is very difficult to defend.
Dillard flashes open. That's a 2-pointer for Dillard. He has 8 of their first 18 points.
Great ball screen, yeah. A good ball fake, which got the guy up and then delivered the shot. Great offensive move.
Devontae.
This non-conference schedule.
Nice move by Retton Obazahan.
If he doesn't turn it over, it can really help this Alabama team. He shoots the basketball pretty well, handles the ball on the dribble drive well. He turns it over a lot.
Devin Oliver rims out on the 3. Relaford gives Alabama a chance to run. Drive by Relaford. Rebound by Jacobs. Cleared out of there by Dayton. Here comes Dillard across the half-court line.
Oh, my heavens.
Look at that crossover dribble.
Day in the morning. No wonder he's All-Atlantic 10. Great move by Dillon. He's an absolute terrific basketball player. He's as good as advertised.
He has half of their points.
Dayton pretty much plays their man defense right on top of the three-point line and then pack it in on the dribble drive. They don't do a lot of switching. You'll see Jacobs is playing deep. Well, now he started out to screen and roll on the perimeter.
Obazahan in the corner. Benson the rebound, clear to Dillard, and Dayton wants to run again on the wing. It's Oliver, lays it in, missed it with the left hand. Rolled off the rim.
Very, very fortunate Alabama was. The big guys are doing a much better job of running the floor than Alabama is getting back. And actually, the game's in a pace that Dayton likes.
Great start for the Dayton Flyers.
Check this defense. Maybe they've gone to. No, they're still staying man. I thought maybe they'd gone to a little bit of a zone defense, but I don't think so. Maybe they have.
3 on the shot clock. Kyrie Price on the wing. Rebound controlled by Nick Jacobs.
Jacobs has been a little bit overweight and has had a bad ankle, but I think he's their best offensive inside player, no doubt about it.
Levi Randolph dumps it off. Relevant.
Coming in, Cooper, who's a good full-court man.
Dayton has yet to commit a turnover here in the opening 8 minutes of the ball game, and they're shooting 50% from the floor, while Alabama is shooting 20% from the floor.
Well, layups will make you shoot a little bit better.
Matt Stewart, Coach Wimp Sanderson with you at the Coleman Coliseum. Dayton early big lead. They led by as many as 17 in the first half last year at Dayton. Shot was blocked.
But the rebound shouldn't have occurred. They got on the inside and got the rebound. Here's Alabama in the 2-3 zone and the out of bounds underneath. This is a quick Dayton team. Their big guys are quick.
The pressure results in the first turnover for Dayton tonight. Pollard, his shot was rejected.
Alabama trying to get the basketball into the paint area on the second pass, if at all possible. There's your first one.
Mazahan on the drive tries to get himself through the defense, and a foul.
Result of having quick feet, not your arms and hands.
On the inbounds, Cooper nicely executed by Alabama. Dayton not quite as fluid on offense with Dillard out of the ballgame. And out some of these scores tonight. 2 finals that have come in this evening. Florida wallops Florida State 72-47. And Tennessee scores below 40 for a second consecutive game in their loss at Virginia.
Yeah, 36, I think, against George Washington the other night.
And the Aggies have just a 2-point lead on Stephen F. Austin in the second half. 7 minutes left in that ballgame. Lacey. Alabama had come in here shooting much better behind the three-point line this season, but they're off to a 1-6 start, a 1-for-6 start, I should say, behind the line tonight.
Well, they've been a little bit better from the three than they were last year. They're still a little bit inconsistent, pretty quick to the three-point shot sometimes.
Musa Gay with the block of Devin Scott. Lacey on the drive, and lots of Lacey hits them both. Meantime, Dillard gets back into the ball game for Dayton. Their last 6 possessions without him on the floor, they went 0 for 5 with 2 turnovers.
Yeah, you can't substitute for him very long.
And Bama's on a 6-0 run.
It's a good one-on-one matchup, Rutherford and Dillard. Alabama's defense has picked up some, a little bit better.
B. Sanford, bottom of the net.
Well, when you think of the perimeter people, you think of Sanford and Dillard. Those 2 guys do a lot of good things on the perimeter for Dayton. They shoot the basketball well. They defend pretty well. They're veterans.
10 power forward in the nation when he signed with Alabama out of South Atlanta High School. Inside they go. Gorilovich had his shot deflected. Cooper. And now out is weeknight, 6:30 Eastern, only on CSS. And a traveling call on Benson.
They'll get you for that, and also if you fake a lot with the ball, for whatever reason, they have a tendency to call a foul. That probably was a travel.
Basketball, a funny game. When Dillard was in there before they subbed for him, they couldn't do anything wrong, and since they got him out and now back in, they just really have not been able to sync up again. Lacey, inside they go. Basket by Levi Randolph, and Alabama down only one after trailing by as much as 13.
Matt, I never was much at giving my guys, my best players, rest.
Lacey. Shot blocked from behind, but Randolph controls it. Alabama, chance to take the lead. Traveling call on Lacey in SEC history.
After the timeout, you're going to see some double team, and you're going to see a little bit different zone defense. They always try to show you something different after a timeout. Alabama's doing that.
Dillard hits the floater. You get him back in the ball game, and your offense comes back to life. He's got 12 of their 25.
You could play 6 men against him, and it would do it good.
So what you're saying is when Archie Miller told us that he was the key, that was an understatement.
Yeah. You know, my guys used to say you need to rest so-and-so. I said, they rest tomorrow. That's the way I feel about Dillard. He needs to rest tomorrow, not tonight.
Inside Jacobs. Nice feed from Lacey.
You got to know how to play Dillard. If he gets by you, it really gives the opportunity for the inside guys to get shots. So he doesn't need to get by Alabama's defense, and he does that all the time.
I was getting ready to say, okay, now how do you keep him from getting by you?
You got to keep him in front, you know, as best you can. But he's...
Matt Derenbecker, you might remember the name, a transfer from LSU, had a fine freshman season playing for Trent Johnson in Baton Rouge, transferred to Dayton, and Archie Miller took over there. It's been awful slow
there. Excuse me. Scored 10 points last time he played here for LSU.
That was back in his freshman season, sat out last year when he transferred.
Lacey's a good basketball player. Played at Butler High School in Huntsville. Jack Doss. I had one of Jack's players on my team. He's a terrific player. Buck Johnson.
I remember the name. Pollard with 7 on the shot clock. Way off the mark. Jacobs.
Very good shot. Continued to pressure. This is one of the keys for Dayton. Can they beat Alabama's press? Can they score against the press? And will they avoid turning it over?
Dayton 4 of 13 from the floor after starting 6 of 10.
Okay, they pressured back to zone.
Entry pass was knocked away. Lacey on the drive. Nice physical. Sun Belt, Big East, and more. Visit css-sports.com to see the complete schedule of over 140 games.
I like this Dayton team. They're well coached. They hustle. They know what they're doing. They take good shots. They're okay.
This is the first lead for Alabama. Comes on the strength of a 17-5 run. Kurilovich had it knocked away, fumbled out of bounds. Derenbecker drains the 3, puts Dayton back on top.
Great shot by that man right there. Good three-point shot. Did a good job there. As we see, transferred from LSU. He drilled that one.
Yeah, he's only averaging 2.5 points per game, but again, it's because he just has not been able to really get in the flow of things yet. He's behind the curve. Inside they go, and Jacobs was fouled.
some growing up to do to be the kind of team they need to be when conference time comes.
That was the first free throw miss by Alabama in this game. And they're now 12 for 14 at the free throw line.
They're back man.
Jalen Robinson misses the screen. Dillard takes it to the hole. Anyway, had it swatted out of there by Pollard. Darren Becker. Long rebound chased down by Randolph. Pollard on the drive. Blocking foul is going to be called on Darren.
Ball there. They really like it. They have tournaments there. We played the NCAA tournament years ago there and played North Carolina, had a great game, so I'll never forget that.
Of course, the NCAA First Four is held there every year to tip off the NCAA tournament. We're tied at 28 after the free throws by Pollard, and Dillard in a jam. Foul is going to be called on Cooper.
Team a little further down. This time they put the trap on him pretty quick, and probably the way to play Kevin. He's so difficult to defend. And really, Dayton hadn't gotten a lot of really good looks, Matt, in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Relaford on the drive. Kick out. Obazahan for the lead.
He's a real key for them as he gets a little bit more. I don't know whether the word strength, but just to play a little bit more, and he just looks like he's not quite in condition. Had something to do with it, but he doesn't look as conditioned as he did last year. He looks stronger, but maybe not as conditioned.
Answer by Pierre. Deshaun Pierre had a fabulous game against Boston College at the Charleston Classic. Scored 23 points and did not miss a shot, Coach.
That's what the dribble drive will do for you. You drive it in there, and then when you drive it in there and everybody helps, you kick it, and Pierre knocks it home. The dribble is really important to set up the three-point shot.
2-point lead for Dayton. Just under 2.5 minutes to play now here in the first half. Three on the shot clock. Pollard has to get rid of it. And drains the three-pointer to shoot Alabama back into the lead. Dillard answers himself. Actually, Kyrie Price, pardon me. Kyrie Price with the three-pointer.
Kyrie Price, excellent little player. I know Pollard making that three helps Anthony's feelings some. He hadn't had a lot of scoring opportunities thus far in the season.
2-point lead for Dayton. Relaford. Last touch by.
They hadn't had many good looks for Alabama tonight. They've done a good job of defending him, but the other guys have picked up the slack a little bit.
80 seconds left in the first half. Dillard, man,
that booger bear is something else.
He can shoot lights out.
Hey, Garden Seed.
15 points for Kevin Dillard. He's putting on a show. It's been fun to watch him play. Bazahan swatted out of there by Jalen Robinson. Dillard on the break, gets contact, and will go to the line. 20 college players selected to participate in the LeBron James Skills Academy this past summer in Las Vegas. Dillard now with 1,287 career points. The first 734 of which came at Southern Illinois, transferred from there after 2 seasons.
He was a Saluki at one time.
He was. And a pretty good one, too.
Yes, he was.
An even better flyer. Cooper, spin move. Nice touch by Rodney Cooper. Final 20 seconds.
Rodney Cooper's, I think, really improved this year. He's from Phoenix City, Alabama. Good player.
Dillard. Shot was affected by Jacobs. At the buzzer, Cooper. That's the end of the first 20 minutes against Alabama. He had scored only 31 first-half points total in their first 7 games this season.
Well, he certainly wasn't a slow starter tonight, man. If that was a slow start for him, we're in real trouble when he gets us to a fast one in the second half.
In for a real show, no doubt about it. Sanford hit the opening shot for Dayton, and it's now a 7-point lead again for the Flyers. Lacey inside to Gay, and Gay off glass. Musa Gay has really been able to work himself back into shape when he got here from junior college, one of the top junior college centers in the country. He had a knee injury, way overweight, but he has lost about 40 pounds down to 255.
Well, if you can ever get him the ball around the basket, you're in business, and they did that in that last one. You know, the most important thing is to be able to defend the dribbler in basketball. And if you can't defend the dribbler, you've got a lot of problems trying to do things at the basket to get things done. It's just a very difficult thing to defend the dribbler, and you've got to do that. And, I'd say that they've done a decent job, not quite as good as they need to, because Alabama does a lot of dribble driving and tries to get the basketball to somebody off the dribble drive.
Well, the last dribbler was Devin Oliver, who got the basket for Dayton. Now with 3 on the shot clock, Rendall